Wanted to welcome everybody. This is a hearing, appropriations hearing for the Department of Environmental Protection. And Secretary McDonald, thank you for being here. Next will be Representative Heffley.
My next question would go to, first off, I want to thank the DEP and the work that they done in Jeansville, the mine fire, and they put out, it was about a $9 million charge. It was a fire, part in the vein and mostly in the waste coal piles. Now, across the state, we have a lot of plants that currently reuse this waste coal and reclaim that land. And for anybody that doesn't know, when the water falls on these waste coal piles, it causes acid mine drainage and pollutes the water. It's a health hazard in that this runoff, and it's also a safety hazard because you have these mine fires and that emits unfiltered carbon and everything else in the air. And I'm just concerned. I guess I know people talk about alternative fuel and energy and why we would be permitting windmills and solar panels and subsidizing them when we have an industry here that is cleaning up our state and employing hundreds of, or if not thousands of people across the state. And I would definitely look for DEP to partner with that type of industry. And I don't know if there's anything that you are doing right now to assist that industry that's reclaiming this land and also providing good paying jobs. And the key is it's a base load of energy. So our alternative energies like solar, a day like today, we're not getting a whole lot of solar or wind energy. So you're going to be reliant on these types of base loads. And this is a base load that's cleaning up our environment. Is there anything that DEP is doing to encourage that type of industry?
Sure, and thank you for the questions. The one thing, just to circle back, on Jeansville, I absolutely agree with you. That should be complete later this year, so we're about 70% through it and excited to bring that to a conclusion. On the other, I'd say I think more broadly, I'm a big believer and we need it all. In terms of energy policy, and that in particular includes the waste coal. They're not just producing electricity, but as you say, having water quality impacts, and in some cases, some real community impacts. I always say, like, you go through the Hazleton area, piles have been there so long, the roads go around them, right? Like they're just part of the landscape. So we have been through our mining deputate in particular. We've always worked very closely with the members of ARIPA.
And I guess what I'd really like to see is I'd like to see that put on par with any type of solar or wind, or if not actually elevated above it, because I think, in my opinion, and what I see, because we have one of these plants, we have these piles in Carbon County, is just a benefit to the tremendous benefit to the environment, because it's providing energy and cleaning up the environment and restoring that land again.
So we have an opportunity coming up with that, with the Alternative Energy Portfolio Standard that runs out in 2021. In terms of giving people market signals, that's a discussion we should start having over the next year or two in terms of what the waste coal industry's role within that is, in addition to everything else. So, no, we'd be absolutely supportive of that.
Next will be Representative Schweier.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, and thanks so much for being here. Mr. Secretary, I'd like to follow up on what my colleague and friend from Carbon County was mentioning about the cogeneration plants and the land reclamation plan. Now, I know that I believe it was 2 budget cycles ago we passed a tax credit. The legislature negotiated with the governor, and we were able to create a really nice tax incentive to help remediate these lands in an effort to do 2 things: support the industry as a whole, without conflating it with renewable energy, but also helping it, and while at the same time reclaiming these lands. So I was wondering, do you have any metrics? Do you have any on your end, on your side of it, not the energy side of it, but the land reclamation side? Do we know how impactful it has been on cleaning up any of these sites?
I don't have the numbers here, but we can get them for you. It's incredibly impactful when you think. You have this waste coal pile, take it to the cogen plant, generating electricity, in some cases heat, and then you're actually bringing back that byproduct to reclaim the land it was taken off of.
Yeah,
So
they merged the ash, if I'm not mistaken, with limestone that's naturally
Correct.
generated, and if memory serves, Penn State in some areas is the one that's actually doing the land testing of it. Okay, so if there's any, so the tax credit has been helpful from your mission side of the land reclamation. Is that correct?
I'm
Or fair to
honestly,
say?
I'm not sure what the status of the tax credit is right now. That's
Yeah.
probably a better question for Secretary Davin.
No, yeah, absolutely, and the Office of Budget. So I do appreciate that. If there are any metrics, or if you've done any studies on the reduction of those piles statewide, it'd be helpful to us to see it so that we can continue to justify that. Again, from my perspective, my bigger concern was using that as a way to do a land reclamation project. So if there's any opportunity for you or for your department to see where we were and where we are now, and if we're making any headway, and see if we need to continue to adjust that project or that program, which again was legislatively created, that would be helpful. So,
Certainly.
All right. Thank you, sir. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.